Hey guys, well, really quickly in this session, I just want to talk about really the main thrust of this whole program, which is the point that you reach when you realize, baby, I've just gone too much on my referrals. I need to start selling to strangers. There's a lot more strangers out there in the world, people you don't know, than the people that you do know or that are willing to have enough trust in you to refer you and all that stuff. I'm not saying, by the way, that you need to stop your referral program. You need a documented, systematized referral program that you're activated consistently. And there are things we can talk about with that, but it runs its course. This is a basic kind of cycle that companies go into. You know, you first get started as a coach or consultant or in the world, in the small business world, and all your friends come with you. You're all excited. Everything's good. And you're doing business. I mean, it's awesome. You're doing a lot of work and all that stuff, and you're trying to get referrals from them and all that stuff. But the strangers, all of a sudden you have this line like this, and then something happens, because something always happens. The world explodes, there's a war, this and that, somebody goes out of business, they sell, they merge, and then you realize, oh my gosh, I'm on the cusp of going to zero. It's like when you lose, see, that's the thing, when people have a job and you go, oh, I got demoted, whatever, I got, my raise got cut, raise gets cut, or there's a little severance. Man, this goes to zero. When you're waking up in the morning, you need to think, how do I get a new customer? It's not always from referrals. It's from strangers. So your process for getting for strangers, and that's what this whole course is about. What you first need to focus on are the two ends of the sales cycle. See, with referrals, you already have that credibility. They already know you. You already have that edge. Well, when you're meeting a stranger, obviously you don't have that. And to try to sell to a stranger like you do, and you make the assumptions that you make when you have a referral, is a recipe for disaster. So the main two things you need to work on are the two ends of the sales cycle, meaning the intro and agenda. Be a pro at intro and agenda. That is where your money is made. People, and we talked about it in other courses, people buy from you because they like you, they trust you, they believe you, and then they have a desire to do business with you. When you have a referral, they already like you and trust you because of that extra referral, so you get to start with believe. You get to start with number 3. You get to start with showing all your case studies and all the things you've done in the past and all that stuff. You get to start with the middle part of the sale. You can't do that with a stranger. You got to spend time in that intro and agenda setting. So when you first meet somebody, you just got to find something of commonality. What do you do? I like to just bowl them over with like excessive exuberance and excitement to meet somebody. If you meet somebody on the phone, you say hello, and it's, John Smith, and you say, is this the famous John Smith? With a smile. Is this the famous John? And they always say the same thing. Well, I wouldn't say famous and all that stuff. And then you could say, you know what? I'm just in an exceptionally good mood today for no reason. I can't quite figure it out. But I'm here in Atlanta. Where are you from? Boom, 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 boom. And right now, when he says, where are you from? Now you start some conversation and you're there and it's like warmed up and you're just a little bit better. And calmed everybody down. And then you want to share with them the agenda. Hey, why don't I do this? And we have documents to show you what to say here. But you want to start with the agenda and let them know how this is going to go. Hey, is it still good? We got 30 minutes. Does that still work for you? Yes, great. Okay, hey, what do I like to do and what kind of works best is I'll ask you a few questions regarding your situation and your business and see if and how I can support you. And if I can, I'm going to let you know and let you know how and how much and the whole shebang. And if I can't, I'll let you know that too and give you some direction in that area. Sound fair? And they say yes. Once you perfect that, and you perfect that by practicing that, by role-playing that, by having your children or your wife or husband go ahead and stop you in the hall and say, hello? and then you start the whole process, just play around. My son, he used to stop me we'd be walking and he'd just see me and he said, Daddy, I think it just costs too much. I said, got it. Listen, if I were you, I'd say the same thing. But let me ask you, what were you hoping to pay for something like that? I mean, we're constantly practicing and role playing. So the first part is you want to practice and role play your intro and agenda. Do that as much as you can till it becomes second nature and nice and you could just find commonalities immediately, and you will. It'll click in like 2 or 3 weeks. It'll just click. And you can go from there. And then the second part you need to work on is presentation and closing. You're a coach, you're a consultant, you're an advisor, all that stuff. You're really good at finding out all the things on the inside, the discovery call types of things. But you probably stink at presentation and closing, so you got to practice that. And that sounds a lot like when you get to the point when they're ready for the presentation. You want to set them up for it and say, hey, based on what you've told me here, I think what you're doing and what you want to do really aligns with our program. Is it okay if I share it with you now? They say yes. And then you have bullet pointed exactly what you do. And this is a process that we need to build with you, along with you. You have to build that bullet point thing. So what you get is this, and this. Does that make sense? Yes. Is that you want agreement the whole way through. And then you get to the price and you have to learn how to drop the price. And just by saying, okay, is it okay if we talk about money? They say yes. The price is this, and this. Was that more or less than you thought it would be? And then you go from there. And then expect the closing part, the part of practicing closing is learning how to overcome objections. But I think I've said this before, but I want to reiterate it. Overcoming objections is part of the sales process. You don't drop the price and pray. You drop the price, prepare for them to gain anxiety and be worried about it and come up with excuses. And then you have to overcome that objection. I'll do a whole section on overcoming objections, but just a rule to follow is always agree. It costs too much. Got it. Listen, if I were you, I'd say the same thing. That makes perfect sense. I need to think about it. Of course you need to think about it. I was hoping you would say you need to think about it. If I were you, I'd need to think about it. Actually, I was hoping you would say you would buy it right now. But second, I wanted you to think about it. So what I just said right there, I've said 6,000 times. That's how much you need to practice this. So it just sounds natural. But if you get good, before anything else, you get good at intro and agenda, you get good at presentation and closing, and all you need to do is of all the people that kind of say no or I need to think about it, if you can convert 25% of those, all of a sudden you're selling to strangers like nobody's business, and that's how you scale. Not by selling to referrals, but by selling to strangers. You guys are awesome. We'll see you on the next time. Take care.